everyone, Chris here, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to this week's reading vlog. I will say, this won't be an entire week. This is just going to be the first 5 days of February because I'm going to start a new vlog for Polarathon, and that will put me back on my schedule because usually I end these Sundays and start the new vlog Monday, and I'm just a smidge behind. Which, if you watched last week's vlog, you know the story, so I'm not going to repeat myself here. So it is like 2:30 in the morning on Monday, and I wanted to catch you up with what I have read so far in February. I am on page 256 of Rock, Paper, Scissors, and there are 291 pages in this book. I will easily be finishing this before bed, and I can't see this getting more than a 2-star. And it's going to be lucky if it gets that. Something spectacular is going to have to happen in these last, 30 pages. I really wish I had DNF'd this. I thought about it, but because it's a winter cover read, I felt like I couldn't. And that I had to push through because it's one of my winter covers. And I felt like I needed to know the story and needed to know what happened. And I'm just not enjoying this. I don't find the characters we're following likable. And I don't really want to say more because I don't want to spoil my winter cover wrap-up video, but I'm not enjoying my read of this book. I'm just not. So I'm leaning towards it being a 1 or 1.5 star. I'm not sure yet. It's somewhere in that range. Like I said, unless something crazy happens, and then I will bump it up to a 2-star, but I'm not feeling real confident about that. So this will be my very first dud of 2022, and I'm hoping it is not a signal of how my month of February is going to go, because I had a really good January and I don't want to ruin it by reading a bunch of crappy books in February. I finished A Picture of Murder today by T.E. Kinsey, which is the 4th book in the Lady Hardcastle mystery series, and I'm giving that one 4.5 stars, and it was another great addition to the series. I figured things out around the same time that Lady Hardcastle and Flo did, so the author managed to keep me guessing right up until the end, which was brilliant. And even then, I wasn't completely 100% sure until it was spelled out for me. So that was absolutely brilliant. I will probably start book 5 tonight, even though book 5 is the one book in the series. By the way, these are on Kindle Unlimited if you want to check them out and you have Kindle Unlimited. But this is the one book in the series that you can't get the narration for, because the first 4 books and the novella have all had the narration, like the audiobook, free with your Kindle Unlimited subscription. So I've been listening while reading, and I'm going to be really bummed that I have to read this one to myself because I've really enjoyed having it read to me, and I love the way the audiobook narrator does the voices for the characters. So that won't be as enjoyable, but I will probably start it tonight because I like reading a little bit of an ebook before I go to bed, or at least I've found I like reading that. So that is probably what I'm going to do. I haven't read any more of Cytonic, though I do plan to get back to this at some point tomorrow. I've got tomorrow's video edited, which is my unhaul. The only other thing I have filmed is my vlog. So I have to edit that tomorrow so that that can process, so that I have time to add in the music to the very cute kitty scenes, if I do say so myself. And Friday is going to be one of my top 5s of 2021. I haven't decided which one yet. And then hopefully over the weekend, I will catch up on my recent reads, and I think then I will be caught up. I'm not even going to know what to do with myself when I'm caught up. Think of all the free time I'm going to have to read when I'm not having to film videos about books I read 2 months ago. I just have to make sure that I don't neglect to stay on top of things, but I think we're going to be all right because I feel like I'm in such a groove from catching up that I'm not going to fall behind, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So once I finish Rock, Paper, Scissors, and if I have time before I pick up the next Lady Hardcastle mystery, I'm going to read The Red Pyramid by Rick Riordan. I asked in Jade from JD Ray Reads Patreon Discord what book I should start with off of my very hefty TBR because I couldn't decide, and a couple people said The Red Pyramid, so I'm going with that one. I'm really excited about this. I love ancient Egypt. Donner, please get away from the camera. I have a cat who's trying to come help, and I'm really worried she's about to knock my camera. She was sniffing it. Hi. I didn't say you had to leave. Just don't touch the camera. Come on. I think she's getting ready to lie down. I think she's ready for me to curl up, turn on the birdies and the squirrels, and get ready for bed. So my plan is to finish Rock, Paper, Scissors. If I feel like I'm still awake, I'll read a little bit of this. If not, then I will go to the next Lady Hardcastle mystery series. Either way, I will be reading the end of this so that I can find out whether this will make us 2-star or not. But I'm sad because I was really hoping that I could get through at least a part of February without a dud, but it had to come at some point, and unfortunately it was this one. So that is my update, and I will endeavor to check back in with you sooner rather than later. So it is Saturday evening, and I wanted to do another quick check-in. I just have had zero motivation to film. My allergies have been kicking my butt. And on top of that, we got hit with some snow. So we had a lot of like plows and snow blowers and shovels and stuff like that. Just a lot of background noise. So literally when I felt like filming, it was too noisy to film. So that's why no videos have been up on my channel. Not that you will be seeing this at the point when I'm filming it. Anyways, I also wanted to correct something I said earlier in the video, though again, that information will be out there by now. I was saying that Polarthon started on the 6th. It actually starts on the 7th. So really, I was only losing one day by extending my vlog, so no big deal in the end, even though I just completely didn't film much. So I'm looking at my reading log because I want to make sure I update you on everything. So first we'll go with, I was almost done with Rock, Paper, Scissors. This got 1 star from me. It is easily my least favorite book of 2022 so far. It is the only book I have rated lower than 3 stars. I hated this, and I think I will leave the details there because I did start to film my winter covers vlog, which hopefully will be a little bit smoother going forward now that I can film as I'm reading, because I made the decision literally part way through this book to do that. So then I didn't film anything until the end. So yeah, hopefully that will work better because it means I can talk about the book as I was reading it. But I was not a fan of this. I think a lot of people really like that. So it is a bit of an unpopular opinion, but it just didn't work for me. I have since read the entirety of The Red Pyramid by Rick Riordan, and I gave this book 4.5 stars. I really, really enjoyed the start to this book. I don't think this is going to be the Trials of Apollo for me in my favorite Rick Riordan series because I just adore Apollo so much. But there is a character in here who in some ways reminds me of Apollo in their tone and their presentation. So I am extremely drawn to them, and I can see them being my second favorite character in any Rick Riordan book ever, behind Apollo. So that is interesting. So if you're curious, my top 3, and I'm going to toss the word spoiler up here on the screen in case you don't want to know, because it may or may not be relevant to people who may or may not make it through various books, series, whatever. So you will see the word spoiler. My top 3 characters in every book I've read that was written by Rick Riordan are as follows, as of right now: Apollo, Bast, and Dionysus. So I really, really enjoyed Bast in this book, and the way she's written and the tone reminds me a bit of Apollo. So I'm hoping we continue to see her in books, but she is why the spoiler warning is up here. As is, Dionysus to an extent, but I also thought it would just be good to put up there in case people didn't want to know in general. So end of spoilers. So I just love that I found a new character in the Rick Riordan universe to love, and I am really struggling not to just throw my TBR out the window and pick up the second book. So don't be surprised if the second and third book make their way onto my March TBR, because that's my plan right now, but we'll see. Next, I have started the Spanish Love Deception by Elena Ramas, and I'm not going to say anything about that because it's for a secret TBR, which you will see a vlog of in the future. So I am reading that as well, but I'm not going to tell you anything about it. So moving on, I have started Exile by Shannon Messenger. This is the second book in the Keeper of the Lost City series. This is a reread for me, and I am absolutely adoring my reread. I love this world, and I know it's not perfect, and I know that there are people who don't enjoy it and have legitimate reasons why they don't. But for me, it just works. So I want to say that I read this the first time maybe in like April 2020. And I read Keeper of the Lost Cities, Exile, and then book 3 back to back to back in like 72 hours. And then I believe I read books 4, 5, and 6 back to back to back in 72 hours. So I just fell in love with the series, and maybe it was just the right series at the right time and was exactly what I needed, which is why I can overlook the flaws or whatever. But this series just works for me, and I'm so excited to be refreshing myself on all of the details of how everything played out. And I cannot wait for book 9 later this year, and my reread is just making me so much more excited for it. So, still loving this. Speaking of second books, I have started The Name of All Things by Jen Lyons, and this is the second book in the A Chorus of Dragons series, and I am absolutely loving this as well. I can see this getting 5 stars for me, at least based on the way it's presented. I love the way these books are told. They're a little different from the way I'm used to books being told. Like, they have footnotes, and I wasn't sure I was going to like that, but they really, really work in this book. I was very, very curious where this book was going to go based off of the events of the end of book 1, and I am enjoying where this is going so far, and I'm enjoying the way Jen Lyons is telling the story of this book. And it is so hard to say anything else without spoiling something, so I'm not going to say anything else, but I love the way this series is written, and I'm really into this book, and I'm hoping that I continue to love it, and that I continue to love the series. The only other thing I have to update you on is that I've read a little bit more of The Burning Issue of the Day, which is the 5th book in the Lady Hardcastle mystery series. The reason I'm not plowing through that is because the Spanish Love Deception is also an ebook, and I have been trying to prioritize the Spanish Love Deception because it's actually on my TBR, and The Burning Issue of the Day isn't. But it's a Lady Hardcastle mystery, and I like that series, so I'm enjoying what I have read of that. I think the only other thing of note, and that's because I forgot to mention it in last week's vlog, is that I have started In a Dark, Dark Wood. And I'm listening to the audiobook of that, but I believe I mentioned in that vlog that my audiobook retention is awful, so I've kind of set that down, and I'm really focusing on my physical reads. But I do hope to pick that back up because the beginning of it was definitely interesting. So hopefully I can get back to that soon. But I don't know, because Polarathon is starting on Monday. And I'm currently in the middle of 2 500+ page books and a 450 page book. So we'll see. Because next week I'm definitely prioritizing my Polarathon books, and I will not be talking about anything I read in my Polarathon vlog that isn't Polarathon. You'll have to wait to see my following week's vlog where I will update you on anything else I read. Because I just really would like to have a vlog focused completely on Polarathon. So that's all I've got for you guys right now. I will absolutely 100% be checking in with you tomorrow, though I don't think I will have finished anything because I'm only like a quarter of the way through The Spanish Love Deception, Exile, and The Name of All Things. And like I said, they're all chunky books, so I don't anticipate finishing any of them in the next 24 hours. So I will at least check in and let you know where I left off with them. I will likely finish them next week, even though it's Polarathon. So it's just going to be a very, very, very busy reading month and a little screwy with the videos because I haven't been feeling all that hot because of my allergies. So yeah, we'll see what I can manage to pull out, and I will check in with you tomorrow. So it's 2:15 on Monday morning, and I'm going to wrap up this week's vlog. I have managed to read some more in The Name of All Things. I am now on page 236, so I'm making some decent progress in this, though it's obviously going to be shifting to the back burner with me focusing on my Polarathon reads. I'm not saying I'm not going to read any of it this week, but hopefully I will be able to get through my Polarathon TBR relatively quickly because the 5 books I talked about are all middle grades, so hopefully they'll be easy reads. So I might be able to get back to this. So you might get 2 vlogs next week, but 2 shorter vlogs because I might have one that is just me reading my Polarathon reads. And then if I do manage to finish them, in like say the first 3 or 4 days, maybe I will do like a weekend vlog or something where I tackle the rest of my TBR. I don't know. We'll see. I am really struggling to film. I had been on a massive roll with catching up on my channel, and this past week or so, I just had zero desire to film. I mean, I've filmed vlogs, but this is a completely different setup to filming my sit-down videos. So hopefully I will be able to get back to that soon. We'll see. I have to leave the house tomorrow, so who knows? That is really draining for me. I don't like leaving the house. Ideally, I would never leave the house. I think my cat is about to go attack the birds on my TV. He came in just as I was sitting down to film, so I had to turn the birds back on because he likes watching the birds on the TV. I'm sure you've seen him in one of my many, many clips. The other update I have is that I've finished Exile, which I technically read like the last 30 pages after midnight, but I was done by 12:10, so I decided to just toss it in this vlog rather than waiting until whenever I update you after Polarathon. Absolutely loved my reread of this. I am just so happy to be back in this series with these characters and refreshing my memory on everything because I obviously know the big things that happen, but I don't necessarily know the order that they happened in anymore, or like which books certain things happened in. So it was really, really nice to have that refresher, and I think it's going to make reading book 9 that much more enjoyable to have reread the series this year and to really have all of those details fresh in my head. I am also considering using my swap. I don't think I've ever used my swap before in Phase 10. Usually I use it as a skip. But I am reading The Dandelion Dynasty with Stephanie's Bookverse. And the original plan was to read the first book in January, the second in February, the third in March, and then the fourth when it came out in April. But the release got pushed back to June, so we now have February and March to read book 2. And then we'll have April and May to read book 3, and then we can read book 4 in June. So I picked the second Dandelion Dynasty book as my dark cover. But it's like over, I want to say, 800 pages. And if you see my TBR, it's massive. So I'm really tempted to swap it out with another book on my TBR that I'm not using for any of my Phase 10 prompts that happens to have a dark cover. I think I could switch it out for Crossbones, because I don't think that's on my TBR. And it definitely has a dark cover, but I think that might be my only option. But I'm hoping to read Crossbones anyways. So I may end up using my swap there. We'll see. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there yet, but I mean, it's technically only the 7th, so we're not even through the first full week of February yet, so I've got time to figure that out. And I mean, realistically, I can skip 5 books this month off of my Phase 10 TBR. I'm going to try not to, because I like completing my TBRs, even though I know I have those skips. And I'm grateful to have them with it being my birthday month, because it means if I just fail at reading at the end of the month or slump or something, I have those in my pocket and I don't have to punish myself in the month following, like, my birthday month. Like, it was a nice present, I guess, the board gave me with 4 skips and then my skipper swap. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. We'll see. But that's all I've got for you for this week's vlog. I'm going to say leave me some bird emojis, since Porky is over there determinedly chasing birds. Well, right now he's watching a squirrel, and I don't know if they're a squirrel emoji. So bird or squirrel emojis, either works. All of my social media, including my Discord, will be linked in the description below if you'd like to come chat with me. I've already addressed the emoji, so let's wrap this up. Like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!